Warhammer 40K Dark Heresy and what Owlcat will bring to the table. Today we're stepping into a grim dark future of the 41st millennium to talk about Warhammer 40K Dark Heresy, the upcoming CRPG from Owlcat. If you're a fan of Warhammer 40K universe or you just love deep immersive CRPGs, this one's gonna be on your radar for sure, and by this time you probably already know about it. Owlcat Games, the studio behind Pathfinder Kingmaker, Wrath of the Righteous, and their new Warhammer debut, Rogue Trader, is at the helm once again. So what are they bringing to the table with Dark Heresy, and how it might perform compared to the Rogue Trader? Let's break it down and find out what's going to happen. We're gonna look at the Rogue Trader sales, and we're gonna make some bold predictions for Dark Heresy. The Rogue Trader performance. Let's start with Warhammer 40K Rogue Trader. Released in December of 2023, this was Owlcat's first game into Warhammer 40K universe, and it made quite a splash. According to the statements from Owlcat Games, Rogue Trader has sold well over 1 million copies, and that's a huge milestone for a CRPG, not to mention that the game is also available on a Game Pass, so probably, including pirates and so on, more than 3 million people played Rogue Trader. That's a clear sign of its popularity and proof that Warhammer 40K brand has a serious pull. And the fanbase of Warhammer 40K really needs good 40K games, and those are very rare. Owlcat delivered a great game. Players and critics alike praised its rich narrative, giving you the freedom to explore the Coronus Expanse as a rogue trader, forging alliances and shaping your story, with a lot of different endings and a lot of different choices and consequences. Rogue Trader really shines in terms of CRPG. The gameplay, with its tactical combat and deep character customization reminding a lot on Wasteland games, also got a lot of love. But it wasn't all smooth, especially at the start. Launch reviews pointed out bugs, a lot of glitches, a lot of game-breaking bugs, corrupted saves and so on. Not to mention the balancing issues. All of that now is ironed out. The game is in a perfect state. But it took a full year for the game to be in a perfect state. Owlcat, of course, they didn't sit idle. They've been rolling out patches after patches and updates to address all of the problems in the game, showing their commitment to improving the experience. And we all know they did the same for Kingmaker, for Wrath of the Righteous, and now for the Rogue Trader. So you're pretty much sure that once you give your money to Owlcat, you're gonna receive a perfectly polished game, no matter the time. So do not expect a perfect version on day one, but you can expect a finished game in due time. They always make deluxe editions of every single game. Overall, Rogue Trader's success sets a high bar and gives us a solid foundation to predict how Dark Heresy might perform. Now, what Owlcat brings to Dark Heresy, and what can we expect? So, what's Owlcat cooking up with Dark Heresy now? Set in Calixis sector, this time you're not a swashbuckling rogue trader, you're an inquisitor tasked with sniffing out heresy and corruption in the Emperor's name. A completely different approach from the rogue trader. It's a shift in tone and gameplay, leaning into investigation, intrigue, and the classic Warhammer grit. Darkness and gore everywhere. Owlcat's promising to build on Rogue Trader's strengths. You can expect a deep narrative, tactical combat, and choices that actually matter. And this time it's gonna be even better, cause they learned from their mistakes from the Rogue Trader. Now imagine deciding who lives, who dies, cause you're the judge now, you're the Inquisition, or who gets branded as a heretic, all while navigating a web of conspiracies. One standout feature is your party, your warband, your mutants and everyone that you can recruit, from the Imperial Guardsmen to the Psychers and maybe even a crude mercenary. Each companion brings unique skills and perspectives, shaking up both the story and the combat. Owlcats learned from their past games too, and we can expect, again, extremely memorable NPCs. They got a knack for refining mechanics and polish with each release, so Dark Heresy could launch smoother than Rogue Trader, but I doubt it's gonna be in a perfect state. As always, this is probably gonna be the most polished game from Owlcat, cause they got a solid ground behind in Rogue Trader. Now we add in the Warhammer 40K flavor on top of it all, with grimdark vibes, gothic aesthetics and the Inquisition's unrelenting zeal, and you got a recipe for something very, very special. Dark Heresy is the topic that we all need for a 40K game, a long overdue topic. Sales predictions for Dark Heresy. Now comes the big question: how will Dark Heresy sell? Rogue Trader hit over 1 million copies sold, and it impressed the entire 40K fanbase, a dedicated crowd that's always hungry for more. Dark Heresy taps into the same passion, but with a fresh twist. It's the Inquisition. It's a fan-favorite faction, and the investigative focus could draw in players who love Rogue Trader's role-playing depth. Plus, newcomers will always be intrigued by the detective angle, and only the word Inquisition will sell the game better than Rogue Trader. Owlcat's track record is another boost. From Pathfinder Kingmaker to Wrath of the Righteous all the way to the Rogue Trader, they've shown they can level up with each game. If they tackle Rogue Trader launch issues like bugs and balancing, Dark Heresy could hit the ground running with a more polished experience. Now we combine all of that with a Warhammer hype, and I'm feeling quite optimistic here for the Dark Heresy. Now here's my prediction. I think Dark Heresy could sell well upwards of 2 million copies, with over 5 million players in the next 2 or 3 years after its release. In the next 2 or 3 years after its release, it also depends whether it's gonna be on Game Pass or not, like Rogue Trader. Now that's a huge step up from the Rogue Trader, of course, banking on Owlcat's improvements, the Inquisition appeal and the franchise loyal following. If they nail the execution, delivering a gripping story and a tight gameplay, challenging gameplay with a lot of surprises along the way, it might even push higher than these numbers. Conclusion: there you have it. Warhammer 40K Dark Heresy is shaping up to be a standout CRPG, with Owlcat Games bringing their storytelling chops, refined mechanics and a fresh Inquisition spin to the Warhammer 40K universe. Rogue Trader's 1 million sales prove there's an appetite for this. People are always hungry for a fresh 40K game, and I'm betting Dark Heresy will take it to the next level. Whether you're a die-hard 40K fan or just love a good CRPG, this one is worth watching. What do you people think will happen with Dark Heresy, and what are your expectations for it? You can drop your thoughts in the comments below. Thanks for watching. Smash the like button, subscribe and ring the bell for more gaming info. Until next time, stay faithful to the Emperor.